Hi, Keith Parsons with LiveAction. I'm excited today to show you our new release of software, LiveAction 3.1. With improved workflow, scalability, and the ability to quickly now find problems even faster in your network, our new tool set now is really quickly revolutionizing the industry in the ability of being able to troubleshoot and find problems in your network. So let's take a quick look at LiveAction 3.1. Here we are looking at LiveAction 3.1. For our new users that happen to be on the call today, this is an example of looking at 5 devices added into LiveAction. The circles are the actual switches or routers, and the smaller circles are the actual interfaces. Notice we draw the topology map automatically so we can see the actual configuration of your network. We overlay this actual interface map with flows using NetFlow. So NetFlow gives us the ability of being able to follow the paths in the end and identify the conversation. So as you can see, I can come over and highlight maybe some voice traffic, see the rate, bytes, and packets. I can select that traffic, and then I can create a filter to drill down very quickly just to that traffic. So now, once again, we're looking at traffic that's going through the network by DSCP values, and notice in the case of this voice traffic, 3 of the calls are red and EF, the correct class, but I do have 1 call that's blue that we need to investigate, showing that it's not writing in the right class of service. And this is one of the nice things about LiveAction, is its ability of being able to find problems very quickly. So we can look at KP voice here, and let's look at a particular subnet of traffic that I've got, and we can see the traffic going through the network. If I highlight one of the conversations, green interface over the MPLS cloud, and to an interface that's amber indicating a problem off to the actual destination or source. So in this case, with the interface that's amber, we'll double click and go to quality of service and take a look at the bottom right, and what do we see? We actually see traffic's being dropped in the voice over IP class. The amber indicator allows us to see the traffic being dropped, and we do see now that drops are occurring in the voice over IP class. One of the nice things about the tool is that our ability of being able to adjust the policy on the fly without going command line. So now I can actually load a dialog box, and without ever going command line, I can adjust this policy on the fly and take corrective action. Here's the class names, the queue settings, the reserved bandwidth, and so now we'll just go from 8 to 1024 to allocate more bandwidth and save it to the device. And now we've actually modified that policy without ever going command line. So within the tool today, we've made many changes to improve the workflow as well. We've improved performance of the reports. We've enhanced the report workflow, allowing users to slice and dice the data. Scheduling of reports are now done. Our new text-based filtering that uses the IPFix info elements, as well as our new site reports that we have, and improvements in IPSLA, and even monitoring drops on all interfaces within the network are easily done now from within the tool. One of the things that I think that is most impressive is that we're looking at the CBQoS view right now. And look, I'm going to right mouse click and show the flows and instantly drill down to that interface and show the traffic that is now running through this policy on this interface. And look, if I wanted to look at FTP data, look, I can drill down and instantly go to an address pair report and instantly see those address pairs that were running that traffic for that particular application. So as you can see, the drill down is really pronounced from within the tool now of being able to analyze traffic going through the network. If we look at our home view again and look at flow, look, we highlight our flow, it's now green all the way through, indicating no problems of class drops, interface drops, congestion, or queue drops. Everything looks clean now going through the path. One thing is indicating that the arrows are actually indicated in blue, which means best effort. So I don't have a policy right now actually marking traffic on this network. If you see all the conversations here, notice they're all best effort. So one of the nice things about the tool is that we can actually go in and we can actually create a policy and apply it to this actual interface. So let's go to the 2921. We're going to go to quality of service, go to the interface closest access to the source, and look, I can create a policy from template. And now with policy from template, I can use the advanced templates, and here they are built in. And here are the built-in templates that are based off Cisco best practices to use, such as the 12-class Medianet or an 11-class template with in-bar matching, matching and marking, matching, marking, and queuing. So you see all the templates are there. Or you can use your own templates. Notice we're picking up the policies automatically from within LiveAction. So now I can simply apply a policy to interface, and I can use one of your existing policies, or we can create a new policy very, very easily. So now look, I can actually pick the policy that I like. I like set DSCP, select the input side of the interface and click OK. And notice at the top of the screen where there's no policy, I actually just applied that policy to this 2921. This is nice because now I can turn around and copy that policy to multiple devices, multiple interfaces, and remain consistent with quality of service through the network. I can manage the QoS settings and take control of the policy as well. So we're very pleased with the tool, and as you can see now, here are the actual policies. Here's that set DSCP policy I just applied on the interface, and look, here's my match statements, here's my marking. So marking, queuing, policing, and shaping is all done through the graphical GUI. What if I want to add a match statement? Look, I can go out and select my match type, ACL, name, or number, but for those of you on the call, look, in-bar group supporting with in-bar 2 now, I can go out and take advantage of the power that's provided there. So we'll go out and go to category. Look, this is the browsing group, and look, here are all the protocols that are composed of the actual browsing group. Instead of me having to add individual match statements, I can now click and add a single match statement that encompasses all these protocols very, very easily. So it once again gives us the control we need to be able to create quality service effectively in the network. In addition, creating a new policy is very, very easily as well. So I can just create a policy and name it test, and here it is in the network with a default class. And look, I can add a class to the policy and use your existing classes. So very, very easily I can turn around and just use, like for instance, video and add it, and look, I'm adding the match type values automatically. Or we could delete this class and create a shaper. So I want to put a shaper here, so we could put in a shaper and add a rate, and I'm going to take my set DSCP policy, drop it on top of the shaper, and look, a nested hierarchical policy has just been created that easily from within LiveAction. So we do like this ability of being able to take advantage of being able to create quality of service policies on the fly very, very easily. So now we have applied that set DSCP policy on the interface. Let's go to the home view, and now let's take a look at the flow. And if I actually refresh the flows where everything was best effort before, we can now see red traffic, and red is EF. So I actually can take this voice traffic and actually show it all the way through the network very, very easily. So the question becomes, how do you know if your voice call that starts out in EF traffic on one side of the network goes all the way through the network and ends up as EF on the other side? And as you can see, the red arrow is continuous. What if it changed the blue? Then we lost our markings in the cloud. Changed blue maybe in a switch, we don't have trust enabled. So the ability, once again, of being able to show that flow through the network very, very easily is one of the strengths of the tool. So now that we actually see that we've got this policy running and it's running correctly, this is one of the strengths of the tool, is being able to analyze and filter data very easily. So look, I'll go up and let's go back and look at all the traffic going through the network again. And now we can see all the traffic, but if I wanted to apply a filter, see, I can go out and actually use our actual search filter and be able to go out and say I want to look at a particular type of data. I could select that. I want to show you some of the syntax that can be used to be able to create any combination of filtering that you would like to see. So as an example, I could come up and type in, say, maybe flow.device. And look, it instantly prompts me for the devices. So I'll select my 2921 router here as an example, and then I could say, and I would like to be able to see information from a particular interface. So flow.interface. And once again, put in equal, and here are all my interfaces. So we'll go down and look at Fast Ethernet 010 as an example. I hit enter and look at the results. Now we see just those flows. So this is very dynamic because it also works over into the reporting aspect of the tool as well, that I have this incredible search filtering available to be able to drill down and create reports at any time very easily from within the tool. So if we look right now at our reports and we go to flow, we can actually now see that we've added some new reports for us. And one of the reports, once again, is the site traffic report. So I can actually run my site traffic report and actually see the traffic from site to site now. So we see from Los Angeles to Honolulu, we can look at the traffic, the packets, the bit rate, and average packet rate. But look, I can right mouse click and drill down to Los Angeles and Honolulu, and now I want to see, as an example, I would like to see the application report of seeing the traffic that's going through this interface connection, and now I can quickly see it, and look, I can even drill down again. So the ability of being able to swap and pivot from one report to the other is very easily done. The site traffic reports are very dynamic and they're new to us, and they link back to our ability of being able to now set tags and set IP address ranges within LiveAction to bring the information back that you so desire. Also, under the report capability is the ability of creating any report that I want on the fly. So as an example, I can hit create, and we'll go out and create a report, and let's just give it a name, and we'll call it the report. And maybe I want a report that's going to look at the source IP address, and I want to look at DSCP markings. So let's look at DSCP markings, and I want to look at also the destination. So we'll go out and look for destination and add those fields, create the report, and now what we've created now instantly is a report based off the criteria that I want, and here is that report. And now from here I can save this report, I can schedule it, and of course look, the drill down is there at any particular time, that if I needed to drill down and want to look at any particular methods of drilling down from addresses down to application again, and there it is, the traffic that's going through. So once again, now we have filtering that can be based off any criteria very easily from within the tool. This is the strength that we've changed in our latest release, is now giving more visibility, more ability to create custom reports, and then from there those reports can be scheduled very easily, and we can schedule now on weekly reports, daily reports, and in groups as well. So one of the strengths again is the ability once again to be able to also configure alerts. We now alert on all interfaces as well. So we're in the past where we only alerted on interfaces that were added in the LiveAction. Now all interfaces are alerted on. Here's our new scheduling report, and notice now that we've got the ability once again to set daily and weekly times, and then select the reports and even do groupings of those reports as well. So this is very exciting that we have this capability added into the tool. Let's go in now and take a look at an individual device in the network. Notice this is a 2921 router, and we're now looking at the flows that are going through the device like we have in the past, but I want to show our existing customers something new. Look, I can actually go out and do flow path analysis now of the actual path of the data going through the network. And look, here we are now showing the actual path going through with flow path analysis, and we will show any threshold crossing alerts, or if any interfaces in the path were actually taking drops, they would be highlighted. Notice in the flow path analysis, I'm bringing back CPU usage as well as inbound, outbound interface, the policy, and the bit rate. So this is fantastic information to be able to instantly track that flow through the network. If I want to show the path in the home view, view, there it is that easily now that I can actually show that one path. So now, once again, the drill down, the flow, the visibility, the application awareness in the tool has made us very, very strong from this standpoint of being able to monitor anything, anytime, any place. The nice thing about the flow path analysis is that I can go back in time. So I actually could go back to yesterday and look at a problem that may have occurred in the network because I have all the flows. As we look at the 2921 doing basic flow right now, it also supports multiple flow types. So if we will, we'll take a look at Medianet, and now we're looking at the Medianet flows for voice and video. In these actual flows give us media bit rate, packet rate, loss event, and jitter measurement. So in real time, we can troubleshoot your voice or video calls and be able to try and actually help you find where problems lie. So as an example, I'm going to go to the home view again, and look, I'm going to select Medianet, and let's look at all the voice and video flows going through the network. Let's go to a table view and go to Medianet, and I'm going to sort this table for us by SSRC numbers. I'm going to pick a particular call, and I'm going to execute media trace. In media trace, for those of you who are not familiar, I'm actually entering CLI commands to the first device in the path saying monitor this particular combination of addresses on these port numbers. So now we will go out and actually use RSVP protocol to go from device to device to device to be able to put them into media trace mode. And now when they're in media trace mode, that allows me now to be able to troubleshoot the path from one end to the other. This has been available now in LiveAction for a few releases, but we continue to improve it to be able to once again be able to see the path end to end. As you can see, RTP jitter, packet loss, packet expected, packet loss percentages, and other parameters are now shown. So now when we simply refresh the data, we now can begin to see where problems exist in the network. Can you see the first hop looks good and the next two hops are actually dropping the traffic? And we can see that dynamically and follow it back to the policy and check on the policy and take a look, and there it is. Interactive video is actually dropping traffic. So LiveAction is doing its job being able to show you where the problem is, but it is nice with media trace to be able to have this dynamic capability very easily. So if we go back to that table view again and look, so there's that actual flow that we were looking at before. So now let's go back and look at that flow, and instead of running media trace, I'm going to run something new that's exclusive to LiveAction, show Medianet flow path analysis. Now what's dynamic here is I'm not issuing CLI commands to any of the devices. We are simply now parsing the flows from the devices, and now we will show them in the path. And look at this great information that we're showing. From CPU usage, I can tell that I've got a policy that's actually dropping right now. I'm actually exceeding the threshold alerts for jitter here, loss event count, media bit rate. So now this is the ability of doing Medianet flow path analysis. And what is this advantage? This advantage is that I can go back in time. I can go back a day ago, a week ago, and analyze voice or video performance and be able to see the actual criteria that I'm showing you right now with jitter, packet loss, etc. for actual calls and video streams that happened yesterday or maybe 2 hours ago. With media trace, that's real time. But now with our new flow path analysis, we can actually go back in time and analyze that traffic as well very, very easily. So this is once again quite a quantum leap in what other tools are doing compared to ours, that we are actually taking the leading edge now on being able to show end-to-end monitoring and application performance. There's also another flow type that's involved now with the ISR, G2s, and other platforms, and it's AVC. With application visibility and control, I now get that information you've been dying to see, such as what? Application delay, network delay can be shown, client and server delay. Notice we're keying network delay here, so we're already seeing alerts and alarms that are being generated. So we actually have that ability of being able to see this information in explicit detail. Also now we have the reports, as you would expect. So I can go to AVC reports, run a top application performance report, and here are those applications. Now what's nice is that we discover new applications automatically. So if you update your in-bar pack, for instance, your protocol pack, we automatically pick up all those applications. So it's easy for me to pick an application and then view that application over time and be able to look at application performance. In this graph, you see client delay is amber and server delay is blue. So now I'm able to track that performance through the network very, very easily using LiveAction. So now, once again, we continue to enhance the tool more and more with the ability of being able to do drill down with, once again, the flexible filter that we have for searching. So now I'd like to show you an example of PFR. So as you can see here on the left, I have a device, and so we're actually seeing the flows leave this device, go up through the carrier at the top, AT&T, so we can actually see the 1811, and now at the bottom of the screen we can see our other path through the network through Verizon. So right now we're actually seeing the actual path of data going through the network from one end to the other very cohesively from using LiveAction. The nice thing is that we can now do PFR performance monitoring. So actually what I can do is I can go out and simulate a link failure in this example and show how PFR reroutes traffic automatically. So I have an actual test tool that allows me to help simulate errors on the network to be able to help us demonstrate this PFR problem. So now let's jump over, and with Linktropy, what I'm going to do is actually start the emulation process that will simulate errors on the link. Let's go out and select PFR flows, and now notice we're looking at the PFR flows. We'll scroll over and look for the PFR reason and the PFR status. So we'll continue to monitor the flows, and the nice thing is that all of this is real time, and we're capturing these flows into our database that can be go back and analyzed. Now notice now instantly that we have now picked up a status and a failure. We can actually see a reason that we're actually seeing now that an interface is actually in trouble. So now we can actually see that, and now we can actually follow it through the network and see what effect it is actually having. So we have now, using the PFR flows, been able to see that we have a hold down state on this actual path. So now if we go to the alert menu, let's take a look at the alerts that we're actually being able to generate to help you to be able to analyze PFR. So notice I'll go do a historical search here, and now from the historical search I'll actually filter by any criteria that I would like. I'm going to select PFR out of policy events, and there they are. So let's open them up in a report, and there is the event of unreachable criteria being shown and the time frame. So as you can see, we're tracking PFR very, very well to be able to give you the information that you need. And of course we're capturing the flows to be able to show you this information and be able to analyze it at any time. Now back from the home view, now that this link has failed at the top of the screen where we did have traffic going through, I'm going to refresh, and notice now, the traffic is now going through the alternate carrier. PFR has done its job, and now instantly we're seeing a reroute of the traffic through the alternate path in the network. This is very powerful, that I haven't seen a tool that can visibility is the way it is that we show it compared to other tools in the network. So now you can actually see the path of data going through the network on the lower link, now that once again the PFRs has taken effect. So this is our ability of being able to monitor and be able to alert and alarm on conditions with PFR in the network today. As you can see, the ability of looking at multiple flow types becomes paramount. So you want a tool today that can look at multiple flow types, from Medianet to AVC to NSEL to PFR to wireless templates. We support them all within the tool today. And so you want a tool that's leading edge to be able to monitor and deliver the information that we do in the tool. We still have our routing functionality, and so with the routing functionality, we still can be able to follow a path through the network. So I could select a source, and then I can put in a destination as an example, and I can map that route through the network as I'm showing right now. I can also show the return route as well, and we can actually even see the return route. So this is very dynamic. And how am I pulling this off within LiveAction is that I have the routing tables off every single device. So we have that view. In addition, from the home view, we can actually go out and actually look at the adjacencies. No device in the network will go down without us knowing about it first. Compared to other tools, this is the first tool in the industry I've ever seen that monitors the adjacency tables, so I can actually see the hold time, the uptime. So if any of this changes, I instantly alert and alarm you to adjacency table issues that are occurring within LiveAction. With IPSLA, as you can see, the tests are being shown by arrows. So it's very easy now for us to go out and look and see the test, and green is good, yellow is poor, and red is down. So actually when I go out and look at one of these tests now, I can actually see the test, and then from there I can actually do a time series report, and now latency, jitter, and loss and MAL score is now being shown in our new improved IPSLA reporting. We still have the ability of setting up tests very easily. So I select the 1811 router, I go down and select jitter. Let's select the interface as fast Ethernet 0, and then look, the destination address field is blank. I'll simply go into LiveAction and click on any of the interfaces, and it puts in the destination address. I click Save to Device. I just created a new IPSLA report, that easy, or IPSLA test, and so now we can instantly report on it. So we have removed the pain of being able to create, monitor IPSLA test on the network very, very easily. In addition, we have our LAN functionality. As you can see, I have selected VLAN 1, and we're following the path of VLAN 1 through the network. So as you can see, green is good. So through this path, everything looks good, but let's go over and look at my backbone devices here and follow it. Green, green, green. Here's an amber interface on the upper half showing that we're having trouble on the input side of this interface. Let's double click and actually go out and take a look, and sure enough, look, port channel 4 and gigabit Ethernet 01 are amber, indicating input drops. So think about what we've just accomplished is the ability of troubleshooting a global VLAN down to which interface is actually giving us trouble. That's very, very dynamic. In addition, if I look at my 6509 now, I can even look at layer 2 QoS statistics. Someone is setting the queuing on these devices, so now I can actually go out and look at the interface name, the port type, direction, queue, threshold, the total drop packets, and the calls map, and the drop rate for this actual device. So now the problem you had on the network wasn't a problem at layer 3 with the QoS policy. This is the actual queuing that's on the switch that is giving us trouble. So here's our drop rate being shown, and all these interfaces are dropping traffic right now. Hey, what if I had a problem with voice or video? Let's take a look at priority queues, and look, there it is. Calls map 5 is EF46, and there's the drop rate occurring, so we're dropping traffic for voice and video at the queue level on this switch. I've never seen a tool be this dynamic and show this information the way we do. In addition, we also support spanning tree. So see, look, I can go out and select VLAN 10, and it's all green, so it's looking good. But now, for the first time, Look, the spanning tree configuration. So this is the root bridge in blue, green is forwarding, and red is blocking. So now we can instantly see any status changes for spanning tree and alert and alarm you. As I talked about earlier, all the alerts in the alarms are being passed up via syslog, SMTP, or email. So you're being alerted and being proactive on what's happening from within LiveAction. In addition, our dashboard now gives us that complete overview. This is the system view showing maybe CPU and memory usage, top 10 interface drops, bandwidth, my tagged WAN interfaces are being reported in on. From the QoS view of the dashboard, I can see input by top 10 class, output by top 10 class drops by bit rate, input drops, application bandwidth now can be shown as well. From the flow perspective, we track the addresses, the destination countries, DSCP, and now using Medianet, I'm showing you voice and video performance, and once again using NBAR 2, the applications, and then with AVC, the application performance. And with IPSLA, now we can see the normal, the warning, and the errors, the top 100 tests, and if I want to look at the error report, there it is, and now instantly I'm looking at the errors, and then of course I can drill down as you would expect to be able to look at latency, jitter, and loss in this particular case. So the dashboard is new for us as well. So as you can see, we've been very busy here at LiveAction improving the tool from our previous release. The new 3.1.1 release that we're looking at now has been improved from very many aspects to be able to give better visibility, better drill down, better application views, and stronger QoS configuration monitoring, and the ability of being able to be more reactive. If you've liked what you've seen today, you can easily contact us at www.liveaction.com, and we'll be more than happy to help you install the product for a demo, or any questions could be answered. I'd like to thank you again for attending today's seminar, and if any questions, please just submit them and we'll be more than happy to answer them through the actual Q&A session that's going right now. So thanks again.